But you remember when that stupid motherfucking like one grain of rice per word thing came out? What was that called?
What?
Free rice, like freerice.com. And it was this thing that, and I have no idea.
One grain, wait, I've never heard of this.
Yeah, okay, let me think. I have no idea if this was real or not, this was legit, because it just kind of seems like, really? Is this legit? There's this thing, it probably still exists, called freerice.com. I believe that's what it is. And what it was that you would, it gives you like a word and you have to guess the definition. Yeah, for each answer you get right, we donate 10 grains of rice to the World Food Program to help end hunger. So, what I like about this, and why I hope it was set up in the first place, is that it poses like this philosophical question about morality. Like, if this is real, aren't we all obligated to just spend our whole lives, quit our jobs and spend our whole lives just playing this game and feeding the hungry? Because this is something we can so easily do. Just, you can't quit your job completely. You need to make just enough amount of money to afford your laptop bill or whatever. Or you could just go to the library and you can play for free. You could be homeless. Anyway, the point is, shouldn't we all just be doing this? Aren't we morally obligated?
I don't know.
At the same time, it's not like we all donate all of our money anyway to help end hunger. So we're pretty much all. Don't you like that thought experiment that I think a singer came up with? It was like, well, okay, if you were in the middle of the woods and this, child was drowning and no one else was around and you knew it.
Child's drowning in the woods.
Child's drowning in whatever. There's a lake in the woods. There's a lake in the woods. Thank you. The child is drowning. That's what I meant. Anyway, and you're wearing you're wearing your favorite pair of shoes, most expensive pair of shoes, however much that is for you. Well, would you go in and save the child, even though you knew you were going to ruin your expensive shoes?
My favorite pair of shoes need to get back, so.
Let's say they were.
Yeah,
of course you would. Would not you then be obligated to donate at least the amount of your pair of shoes, your most expensive pair of shoes, to charities? At least supposing that you knew that these were going to go to good practice.
I donate far more than that.
Okay, but the point is, how many people don't?
Right.
I don't. I mean, I have donated to different things at different times.
No,
I don't currently.
I just have cheap shoes.
Well, that's a good point. My shoes are pretty cheap too, and it's a sliding scale. And that's why he says your most expensive pair of shoes, because he's saying.
Right,
you could afford to do that, you could afford to do that. But I mean, who even knows? Once a day, once a month, however much you can afford, however often you buy shoes, point is. But so many people don't. Which brings me to, I wanted to type in the life you could save.org or something. Is it life I could save? I don't know. I was like, I really should start donating money. If he's for real that he's got it all figured out. Good charities and stuff, and ways that are going to be systemically beneficial instead of, kind of furthering some kind of problems of, handouts or whatever. Is it? I have to go to thelifeyoucansave.com. I thought I checked that in. I mean, how is there any way? I hesitate to type this website in because I'm like, is there any way I'm going to be able to go to this website and check it out and not feel completely morally compelled to start donating some money? I probably have to. I like my money. I hate watching my moral dilemmas play out. I probably should just go away from this website, but does that make me any less morally reprehensible?
I remember one time...
Just figuring out my gross income. How much do they want me to donate? How often?
First of all, I refuse to calculate from gross. I'll calculate.
Well, they say gross, so I figure they do a smaller percentage or something, but still, Jesus.
All right, Lots of quarter officers.
Still, like, I mean, yeah, but I should do that. Like, I can't deny. I should totally do that. Would it be a sacrifice? Hell yes. Could I make that sacrifice? Yes, I could. Ooh! But I think start thinking of myself as such a wonderful person and become such a good person and get such good karma, and then people would treat me better. This is the only reason I would do it. And you can see that's not altruism. There's no altruism here. I mean, there is. At the same time, I'm like, ooh, like, oh, I've done it. But that's the thing. I would feel better about it. It's not about them.
Right.
So that's my point, is that it's not about them. So then I just feel like, fuck it. Why don't I just be a selfish creature? But then I get this guilt. I can't even say that without feeling like, ooh, I'm a bad person. And that's just something that's just evolved in us. Sorry.
That's alright.
You know how I get. I don't know, rambling sessions. I like how they have a pledge by phone option, because the great thing about that is, I mean, if I had the option to do something on the phone versus the internet, I would take the internet. Yes, I'm shy and socially awkward and hate being on the phone, but still, it's just undeniably the most convenient way you could ever do anything. And these little old ladies who are still going in somewhere, calling or whatever, it's like, one, they're just behind on technology or whatever. But two, a lot of them, it's like, well, I mean, it really is a nice part of their life. And it is. Like, Kurt Vonnegut talks about in several of his books, about like going, and he knows he could just have someone mail a letter, or he could just email it, but he really likes going down to the shop and seeing people and buying a thing and saying hi to the shop lady, whatever, and coming back and posting it. And it's true, that's delightful. But clearly, like, with the internet options here, it's like, okay, I'm just going to do it on the internet, you know? Right. Anyway, so they have this option, instead of pledging on the computer, you can pledge by phone. I mean, that, to me, it's just clearly people who, when they're giving to charity, like, need, like, to tell someone that. You know what I mean? Without going up and being like, wow, it always feels awkward, and be like, well, I donated to charity today. Let me brag to you about that. But wouldn't if you're just taking a pledge? I mean, anyway, that's ridiculous. But, it probably helps some people. It really helps some people to be like,
I hear you.
To want that thank you.
What do I call it? It's not the bucket list.
That's not 1% of my income, is it? Oh, I guess it is. 1%? So they're saying every year. Oh my God, I was thinking every month. Oh. I mean, really the thing about it is the same moral conundrum still applies. Oh, fucking shit. Unless they mean like 1% of your annual every month. I don't think so. Okay, I could probably do this. Maybe. Fine is fine. Let's think of it in terms of how much I would give up every week. See, it's a lot easier to do that without giving it up every week.
Someone once told me the budget was just a plan to go broke.
No, I budget.
I know. I know.
People, you know what? People have willpower or they don't. I mean, exactly. And whether it's their fault or not, you want to say that, they had shitty parents, whatever. You have willpower or you don't. Yeah. You're somewhere on that spectrum. So it's like, I just feel like the kind of people who are going to make a budget are the kind of people who are going to stick on a budget. Mm-hmm. The kind of people who aren't going to stick on a budget, or aren't going to make one. So telling them, oh, you should make a budget. These assholes are going to call up their friend who's good at making a budget and have them come over. Which budget is, you're adding and subtracting. Like, you're just trying to make one step closer to not having a budget, or you're further away from having a budget. I'll call up my friend. I've seen this before, and I just watched them be like, so, in more words than ever could be necessary, well, you spend this much on this, you spend this much on this, and here's how much money you make. Like, it's simple. There's how much money you make, and there's how much money you spend. Right. You can break it up into little categories on your own time. Or why are you having someone who's good at making budgets? Like, there isn't anyway. And then they're just going to stick to it for about 2 days before the next week thing comes up where they're like, oh, I want to spend more than I'm supposed to today. Fuck it, I'll get that. I'll use less tomorrow, and then may or may not really, and probably not, and then they're going to be off their budget. And all that time that they spend, all that time that friends spend, it's for naught. Sorry, so I have to give up basically about $4 a week.
$4 a week?
I mean, I can do that.
Yeah. That's not bad.
I thought they were saying $50. $50 a week. I mean, yeah, I could do that. That would be a real sacrifice. And I like how this clearly then isn't a real sacrifice. This is like, oh, it's a sacrifice. A little sacrifice. And I still am like, save children. And he even went over the whole, like, well, we have too many children thing. Because the thing about that is, of course, the poorer they are, the more likely they are to try its best to breed. So, you really want educated, people. That's what I want. It's like, okay, fine, then don't give them food, just educate them. They live a bit more educated if they die. Oh, that's horrible. I love how I can say that stuff now and not have to go into some OCD prayer. I can just be like, alright, I'm good. I've come a long way.
There you go.
Who pledges? Oh, there's even a list of names on here. So that you can get a little even more recognition. You can see your name on there. And especially right now, there are only like 600 people.
Do they list them by how much they donated?
No, it's half a thousand.
Oh, okay. Because that would be like, what? That asshole gave him 50? I'm giving him 100. Fuck this.
Oh, that's true. I have like who's the most altruistic? Like a little board of
right. Like these are the people wearing furs in the front queue, Of course. But they could even do it percentage-wise. That would be cool. Who's casting their 2 mites? See, that would be better. Alright, how the fuck do I get to just, like, the next page? I'll get to this one. This is the strangest one here. I'm looking for whom I would be in between. What name do I get? I'm probably famous people on here. I mean, if it would put me next to a famous person, I would simultaneously be happier about that, but also feel less altruistic, because then I'd be like, okay, didn't you do that just because you wanted to be by that famous person's name for a second? Name business really is pretty. No, I would be between Ariane Wilkinson and Arko Chakrabarty. Arko Chakrabarty?
I do kind of want to say why Arko Chakrabarty.
I want to write that down.
I'm going to Google and see if that person really is. Sure.
How do you spell that?
ARKO space CHAKRA, like chakra, and then Barty, BARTY.
BARTY?
I'm going to see the person. Oh, wow, he's just ugly, fat Indian.
Arko.
Let's see what Arko looks like.
Yeah. Damn it. Let's check out fucking
He's the only Arko Chakrabarty there too, right? So
yeah, for sure. So I love how we just Facebook everybody now. Used to be you couldn't always find everyone. You can find everyone now, Every time someone buys something from my cafepress store, I totally Google them and look at their Facebook, and I've MySpace friended a few of them back in the day. When people use MySpace.
I worked 6 years in investigations.
Oh yeah.
Anyway.
You know all about it. Yeah. People are so creepy.
Oh man.
And I like how we still call things creepy even when we all do them.
Right.
What is that?